Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Ronald, I'm from 360 Creators. I'm going to talk about Baserow formulas and how to recognize from the file attachment field which files are in that field using a formula so that you can say, for example, I want to know if the file contains an mp4 file or a PDF file or a JPEG or a PNG, so you can categorize those files automatically with a formula. So let's dive into it. First of all, I need to figure out how do I get this file name that is showing up here, like link records from baserow.jpg. So what I did is I created a formula, and first I tried just using this field file create, but I'm still getting the exact same, so I'm not really moving forward here. So what I figured is I could do concat, and then the trick is usually you would say, okay, this is enough, but this doesn't work. You always need to give an extra argument. So you say comma, and you say, well, attach it with basically nothing. Usually you would say ABC, and then that gets behind it. Now you just keep this empty. And this is how you can use a concatenate formula only with the first argument. So now I've got this whole thing and all of this information in here. And you can see we get, we don't get the file name in this case, but we do get whether it's a JPEG, AF photo, MP4, PDF, or whatsoever. Here, visible name. So here it is. Alright, so what we can do now is we can create a new formula. And then we can say, well, let's use the search function over here. And so here we can say search, and then we say info on file, and we say comma, and then we search for .png. And now you can see that we got either a number here, like higher than 0, or something else, like 109. So what I would do then is create a new formula, say, okay, got this number, so now we can say if, and then search for PNG is more than 0, then say PNG, otherwise something else. And now you can see that we've categorized these files based on whether it's a PNG or not. So same way you can do this with other files as well. Now, before we continue, what I would like to do is I would like to nest the formulas into one. So right now we got 1, 2, 3 formula fields for this thing. I want to have this just in one formula field. So now we're going to nest everything inside one again. So what we're going to do is where I say search for PNG, I copy this formula. I go in here, and then in here, I say this field, search for PNG. Up to here, I paste now this formula from this other formula. And then I hit save, and I see if it still works. If it doesn't, I know that I need to replace extra fields, but if it does still work, then great, because then I can just delete this one. And then I do this again. I go info and file, I copy this. And then I go over here and field, info and file, and then I paste. And now I can also delete this one. So that is just to keep it clean. But in the first steps, you need to understand what you're doing. So it's really useful to separate the formulas in the first place when you're learning, when you're building, creating. But at the end, you just want to nest them all up to each other. Okay, so now we got this. Change this to just PNG itself. And what you can do now is basically use the same thing, copy this whole thing, and start nesting if formulas into if formulas. Now, it might sound complicated, but I'm just going to show you how to do it, or at least how I would do it at this point. And maybe there are easier ways to do this, I think, using switch formulas, but I still like what I know right now. So I'm going to show you this with if. So I copy this whole if formula, and at the end, in the last argument, so right over here, I replace this like this. And now, let's see. So now I got an if formula, and if it's not a PNG, it can look again for something else. So now I can say, look if it's mp4, and then say mp4. Okay, and then hit save. Now we see, okay, we got PNG here, mp4 here. Let's see, we got JPEG. So again, I say, okay, in the final argument over here, something else. I take this, I remove it, enter, enter, and then over here I paste it again. And now I say JPEG. Like so. And now we got JPEG, PNG, mp4, something else. And so you can keep going with other files as well. So I hope it's been helpful. I hope you've learned something about nesting formulas, but first understanding how to just create your logic, creating a formula and another formula and another formula, and then just putting it all together into one. And then if you have multiple if statements, how to concatenate all of those into one, and that you understand that you can get all the data from a file field using the concatenate with an empty string behind it. So yeah, if you've learned something, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done that already. If you're a company that starts to use Baserow, but it's still a little bit new to you and you try to get more of the hang of it, or you just need some help to really set up this whole project in Baserow using a database and an app builder, or using the database, something with Web Studio as a front end, so that you can get all the content dynamically, I'm more than happy to help you with these type of things. So feel free to reach out to me. And yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and see you in the next video. All right, bye bye.